No, but can I pause you to say, in the 543 scenario, which is if the number of Lok Sabha seats stays the same and then seats are reallocated basis population, Karnataka comes down from 28 to 26. If, however, you go to an 848 formula, then Karnataka goes up from 28 plus 13, that's 41. And the fact is, at this moment, we don't know what the formula framework is, and therefore all of this is a castle in the air. That's the problem I had with Saravanan. It's the same issue with you. You're already saying as the gospel that Karnataka will lose 2 seats. I'm saying you don't know, boss.
No. See, we know because of this reason that the South doesn't send as many seats for the BJP as the North does. I think the answer is very simple. I don't think it requires...
No, but the formula for delimitation, Brajesh Kalappa, is not decided by the BJP.
I think the answer is very clear to anybody who knows how the BJP functions, because BJP simply has not enough numbers from the South. So therefore, it would be in the BJP's interest to push the South down and pull the North up. And this is what the BJP is.
No, but the BJP cannot decide. Sir, it's like one-day cricket. No, Rahul, the rules are decided by the ICC. The BJP can't decide their own rules. The manner in which delimitation will happen, those rules are already decided, written down and mandated.
You're wrong. You're wrong. See, it is the mandate of the government. And that is the mandate is given to the delimitation exercise as to what rule to follow. Do you follow the proportionality of population, or do you follow the proportionality of what the population was in 1971? If you did follow the proportionality of population to 1971, therefore our population will be protected. Therefore our number of seats will be protected.
No, but there the Home Minister, who's supposed to carry out this exercise, has already publicly stated, I'll show you an excerpt, where he's publicly saying that the interests of the southern states in terms of the numbers as a percentage that they have going into parliament will not be impacted. He said this publicly. No, they don't believe it, but one second, let's listen to the Home Minister.
दक्षिण के राज्यों में एक बड़ा सवाल है डीलिमिटेशन को लेके कि 2026 के बाद कभी ना कभी आपको डीलिमिटेशन करना पड़ेगा, और उनको चिंता यह है कि जो दक्षिण के राज्यों की सीटें हैं वो कम हो जाएंगी, उत्तर के राज्यों में चूंकि जनसंख्या ज़्यादा है वहाँ की सीटें बढ़ जाएंगी। कुछ आंकड़े मेरे साथ हैं, ये अमेरिका के एक पॉलिटिकल स्कॉलर हैं मिलन वैष्णव, उन्होंने किए। हालांकि
तुम बार बार अमेरिका इंग्लैंड क्यों चले जाते हो? यहाँ कोई स्कॉलर नहीं मिलता है?
यहाँ किसी ने किया ही नहीं है।
यहाँ का कोई स्कॉलर तो ढूंढो यार, बंगाल का ढूंढो, महाराष्ट्र का ढूंढो, पंजाब का ढूंढो। खैर बताओ,
सवाल यह है कि ये जो बहुत बड़ी चिंता है दक्षिण के राज्यों में कि हमारी सीटें कम
आपको बता देता हूं, पहले भी ये मसला आया था। भारतीय जनता पार्टी दक्षिण के राज्यों की चिंता के साथ सहमत है। सबने मिलकर, सभी दलों ने मिलकर इसका समाधान जरूर ढूंढना चाहिए और ये संवेदनशीलता के साथ डिलिमिटेशन करना चाहिए।
या बड़ी बात बोल रहे हैं क्योंकि आपका कहना है कि
ये नई बात नहीं है। हमारे लीडर फ्लोर पर बोल चुके हैं, अरुण जेटली जी और सुषमा स्वराज दोनों बोल चुके हैं।
नहीं, क्योंकि वो लोग जब सुनेंगे तो बड़े राहत महसूस करेंगे, क्योंकि अभी
अरे भाई तुम सवाल मत करो, राहत है ही है।
अच्छा,
सवाल खड़े मत करो, ये बोल चुके हैं, हम वहां फ्लोर पर बोल चुके हैं हमारे नेता।
So there you have him, Saravanan. The Home Minister is publicly saying that as a percentage the seats will not be tinkered with in proportion. Therefore, if the proportion says the same, if the numerator goes up, your seats will go up as well.
Yeah. See, Rahul, you are asking a very, very pertinent question. On what basis you are making these allegations? We are making these allegations because even as per the Constitution, the delimitation exercise has to follow the census. And definitely, if we follow the census, the population is higher in the northern India and it has come down in South India. Therefore, we will, if you follow population, we will lose seats. We don't want that to happen. And you are saying the Home Minister has given a promise. Where? They had breaching the promises given in the parliament. You want us to believe the promise of Mr. Amit Shah, which was given in a political rally? Tomorrow he will come and say that is an election jumla. Mr. Modi promised 2 crore jobs. Mr. Amit Shah came and said selling pakoda is also a job. And you want us to listen to such people?
Anil Antony, it's a question of credibility and believability. They're saying we don't believe what you say.
Absolutely. That is why the Chief Minister has said...
Saravanan, you must let others speak as well. Saravanan, let others speak. Let Anil Antony respond.
See, why is there a stress on 1971? It's not any other document. It is the Constitution of India itself that says that there should be a census. And then after the census, there should be a delimitation. Then there had been two constitutional amendments, first in 76 and then in 2021, where this exercise was frozen for 25 years. That time period is coming to an end in 26. So this is something which the Bharatiya Janata Party, as a responsible government, we have an obligation to do because we are protecting the Constitution. But I'm going to tell something very clearly. The India Alliance members, including the Congress and their allies, they are cherry-picking facts. Delimitation is not something that is happening just in a national level. Also, it is happening in a state level. Let me just go to my state, Kerala, like where again delimitation exercise is going to happen at some point. And when that is going to happen, there are certain districts in northern Kerala, Malappuram, Kozhikode, etc., which is going to actually have a fairly large increase in seats, almost like 8-9 seats. That area is going to have an increase. And many of the southern districts, including the constituency where I fought from Pathanamthitta, we are all going to lose seats. There, again, the BJP is not saying, they are not making it into a political issue. And there, the Congress party and their alliances partners, including many others who are all India Alliance members, they are all supporting them.
Okay, so let me now go across to Rangarajan, who is an expert on delimitation. Explain to our viewers very briefly what the mandate is, how it's supposed to be, and whether you think the fear of the southern states is valid. Mr. Rangarajan.
Thank you for having me here, Rahul. I think it is not a premature discussion. It is a very important discussion because, as you rightly said, the 2021 census has been delayed and the delimitation has to be done based on the first census after 2026. We are already in 2025. Now, I have written about it in the Hindu. Even today, I have written an article. I feel that there is a strong argument to freeze it forever at this 543. I will tell you 3 reasons why this needs to be done. Number one, we had frozen it in 1976 and again in 2001. 2 different prime ministers, 2 different parties, but they understood the importance of federalism. It's like a conflict between democracy and federalism. One person, one value versus federalism, but these are like 2 eyes with which you can envision developed India. We have lived with this for the last 50 years. We have functioned with it for the last 50 years. Our population has increased from 55 crores to 145 crores at present, and we have functioned with this 543. There is no fun in tinkering with it when it is going to just go up by 20 more crores in the next 2 decades and then stabilize and decline. So
no, but there is logic because some of these Lok Sabha constituencies are just too big. There are just too many people in every constituency for one MP to be able to handle.
As it happened in 2001, to redraw the constituencies so that the population is evenly distributed amongst the constituencies, that can always be done. But this 543 can remain as it is, because even see, the Home Minister said pro rata basis it will increase. But whether pro rata is based on population or based on existing percentage of share is not clear.
He's made very clear. I had a personal conversation with him about this. He made very clear that your percentage in Parliament will not change.
So let me just...
As a percentage, you will still send the same number, even if the overall number of seats goes up.
Let me just complete my points. So 543 remaining as just the majority of the union government programs are implemented by the states. So if you have to increase the democratic representation, you can always increase the number of MLAs. And more importantly, the most pertinent point, Finance Commission gives 45% weightage for income gap, which is a function of population. And it gives 15% weightage for the 2011 population. So there is 60% weightage which is given based on income gap and current population. So the southern states which have controlled their population are already sacrificing financially in some ways for the overall welfare of the country. Now, if you are required to sacrifice even politically, then that's like a double whammy. And it is not just about the southern states, the northern states of Punjab, Uttarakhand, Himachal, all the northeastern states will have, a disadvantage because of this exercise. So I would suggest that don't fix...
No, but what is wrong? No, one second, Mr. Rangarajan. What is wrong if, as the Home Minister has said, seats are increased proportionately, which means that in Tamil Nadu, you go up from 39, you go up proportionate to where you stand right now. So in a state, for example, like Uttar Pradesh, the number of seats may go up by much more. But say in an Andhra and Telangana also the seats go up by 12 in total. In Karnataka they go up by 13 in total.
The percentage. No, Rahul, the percentage as per the Carnegie Endowment study, if 848 is the number that we take, the percentage of seats for South, which is at 24% at present, will come down to 19%. Because the proportionate increase will not be the same across all the states.
No, but that Carnegie Endowment research that you're quoting is just one framework done by the experts who did it. It's not the government's framework. So why believe that to be the gospel?
I'm saying having 39 out of 543 is not the same as having even 75 out of 800, because in absolute numbers, but more importantly,
but the problem, Rangarajan, is what you're saying, sir. With respect, the problem with what you're saying is you're suggesting that the research done by an international institution, for whatever research reasons that they've done that research, without even knowing what the formula and the framework is, why are you assuming that is the? Why would you believe Milan Vaishnav and the Carnegie team more than you believe Amit Shah?
That is just to argue on those numbers. My stand is that this need not be touched at all.
No, but the point is you're arguing on those numbers basis the belief that those numbers are correct. I'm saying you don't know whether those numbers are correct, and that's the problem. So therefore, what is the argument based on?
I'm taking a larger stand here. I'm saying there's no need to tinker with this 543. We have worked with this 543 when our population has trebled and we are at the peak of our population. Why do you want to tinker with it?
That's a different argument. Why do delimitation at all? That's a different argument. The argument here is whether there is reason to create this spectre of fear. I want to go across to Poonam Motreja, because we are now hearing leaders from the south. I don't know whether voters will take them seriously or not, but hopefully they will not. But they're telling their voters, go produce more children. That because the people in the north are producing more children, we are losing out, produce more children.
So, whatever the reason, whether it's driven by a political agenda or demographic agenda or a religious agenda, no politician has any right to suggest what women should do with their bodies. What reproductive choices must remain very personal decisions shaped by individual circumstances. And these circumstances that shape decisions about how many children people have depends on a very complex set of factors: incomes, women's education, women's aspiration, women's jobs. There's so many reasons. And you cannot, as a politician or government, say to women, reduce the number of children you have, which is what we've been saying for the last 50 years to the women. And their bodies are not switches on and off. And you cannot no woman will choose to have more children simply because a politician says that. So this is, they have to deal with their political issues. They have to deal with the issue of an understanding the methodology and what is going to happen. They have to communicate with their political partners in the case of TDP, but in the case of Mr. Stalin and others, let them not undo the good they've done.
Okay.
Fertility did not decline only because the people were asked to have fewer children.
Sure.
Fertility, Rahul, declined because they invested in women's education, women's empowerment, better governance. South India should be very proud of it, but should not be penalized. No efforts at population stabilization, which come actually from empowering women, should either be penalized or put on the women. Women have very different aspirations, which is what the politicians are not understanding.
Sure, that's a very important point that Poonam Motreja makes. And